Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief program. Today, we dive into the gripping story of Vietnamese tycoon Truong My Lan, who has been sentenced to death for orchestrating a massive fraud scheme. As she races to repay $9 billion to potentially reduce her sentence, this case has sparked a national crisis of confidence in Vietnam's economy. In lighter news, a 14-year-old boy in Hong Kong found himself in a bit of a pickle after being bitten on the toe by a wild boar during a camping trip. The incident, which took place at Sai Wan Campsite, has drawn attention to the increasing encounters with wild boars in the area, reminding campers to stay alert. Lastly, we explore the backlash against female Chinese athletes posting sexy content online, highlighting the clash between traditional values and modern self-expression. While some defend their choices as necessary for financial support, others criticize it for undermining the integrity of sports. Stay tuned for more detailed coverage on these intriguing topics. CNN reports on the dramatic downfall of Truong My Lan, a prominent Vietnamese property tycoon who amassed a fortune through alleged fraud amounting to over $12 billion, which is roughly 3% of Vietnam's economy. Once celebrated as one of the richest businesswomen in the country, Lan's empire crumbled after her arrest in October 2022, which triggered a crisis of confidence in the Vietnamese financial system. Her death sentence was upheld after the court found her guilty of masterminding one of the largest frauds in history, with prosecutors accusing her of manipulating a major bank and creating a web of shell companies to siphon off funds. Although her appeal was rejected, there remains a slim chance for her to avoid execution if she can repay $9 billion, a daunting task that reflects the scale of her financial misdeeds. South China Morning Post highlights a bizarre incident involving a 14-year-old boy in Hong Kong who was bitten by a wild boar during a camping trip. The attack occurred at Sai Wan Campsite, where the teenager was charged by the animal, prompting him to call the police for help. While he was taken to the hospital with a toe injury, his friends remained unscathed. This incident is part of a troubling trend of wild boar attacks in the region, with other campers suffering injuries from similar encounters. In a city where urban wildlife interactions are becoming increasingly common, this case raises concerns about the safety of outdoor activities and the management of wild animal populations in urban areas. South China Morning Post also addresses the backlash against female Chinese athletes who have embraced social media to showcase their bodies, often leading to criticism that reflects traditional values surrounding femininity. The tension between modern self-expression and conservative expectations has sparked heated debates, especially among former athletes like gymnast Wu Lufeng and swimmer Lu Xiang, who have faced public scrutiny for their sexy online content. Experts suggest that this backlash stems from a cultural belief that women should maintain a pure and modest image, contrasting sharply with the more accepted portrayal of male athletes. Despite their significant followings, female athletes are often judged more harshly, revealing a double standard that persists in society. As these athletes navigate their post-competitive careers, the question remains whether societal attitudes will evolve to accommodate their expressions of identity and autonomy. South China Morning Post highlights the pressing need for Hong Kong's third medical school to have a substantial teaching hospital to ensure high-quality training for future doctors. The task group emphasized key parameters for proposals, including the recruitment of top-notch faculty and the establishment of a teaching hospital that can provide ample clinical teaching facilities. With the current hospitals near the prospective universities, such as Seung Kwan O Hospital and Queen Elizabeth Hospital, the teaching hospital must offer a comparable capacity to those of the University of Hong Kong and Chinese University. This will not only enhance the educational experience of medical students, but also align with the government's directive for high standards in medical professionalism. In a different vein, the editorial from South China Morning Post underscores the critical importance of disease prevention in addressing the healthcare burden in Hong Kong. While early detection of diseases like cancer is essential, the focus must shift towards preventive measures to combat non-communicable diseases effectively. the limited emphasis on prevention in the chief executive's policy address raises concerns, especially as cancer remains the leading cause of death in the city. The article argues for greater initiatives to promote healthier lifestyles, such as tax incentives for medical insurance, which could ease the financial strain on the public healthcare system. The government is urged to prioritize preventive health measures to meet the challenges of an aging population while maintaining public trust in health policies. On a lighter note, South China Morning Post reports on the buzz surrounding the introduction of giant pandas and cuckoo to the public in Hong Kong. The excitement builds as the city prepares for a grand unveiling, which includes an exhibition of 2,500 panda sculptures in Tsim Sha Tsui. The pandas, who arrived from Sichuan, have quickly become local celebrities, especially after the birth of their twin cubs. Visitors express their admiration for the pandas and the artistic display, with stories of their dedication to witnessing the event firsthand. The article also touches on the pandas' unique personalities and the care they receive, showcasing the connection between humans and animals while celebrating the cultural significance of these beloved creatures in Chinese society. South China Morning Post reports on Edward Luo's innovative bar, Bunker, in Shanghai, which has gained popularity for hosting free academic lectures, creating a unique space for intellectual discourse over craft beer. Luo, a 25-year-old former banker, envisioned Bunker as a venue for young urbanites to engage in meaningful conversations, reminiscent of ancient Greek symposia. With a focus on social sciences, Bunker has attracted scholars from prestigious universities, and its lectures have gone viral on social media, inspiring similar initiatives across China. The bar's atmosphere encourages interactions among patrons, with ice-breaking questions on napkins and a selection of eclectic craft beers, fostering a sense of community amidst Shanghai's bustling nightlife. In another piece, the South China Morning Post highlights Hong Kong's struggle to keep pace with regional competitors like Singapore and mainland cities in the development of sustainable aviation fuel, SAF, and marine refueling services. As global decarbonization goals tighten, industry experts warn that Hong Kong risks losing its status as a major aviation and maritime hub if it does not act swiftly to establish a robust SAF supply chain. While the Hong Kong government has announced plans to formulate a strategy for SAF, it remains significantly behind in implementation compared to its rivals, which have already set ambitious targets for SAF usage. The urgency to address this issue is compounded by the need to maintain competitiveness in a rapidly evolving market, where clean fuel is becoming essential for compliance with international regulations. The South China Morning Post also examines the recent entry of mainland discount grocery chain Hotmax into Hong Kong, which has quickly attracted a loyal customer base by offering significantly lower prices on everyday items. With its model of selling near-expired goods at bargain rates, Hotmax has disrupted the local market dominated by established chains like ParknShop and Welcome. Economists note that the chain's success stems from its ability to purchase directly from mainland suppliers and operate in low-rent areas, allowing it to offer prices that are often 50% lower than those of local competitors. While some local shop owners express confidence in their ability to compete, the growing presence of discount mainland brands raises concerns about the long-term viability of traditional retailers in Hong Kong's challenging economic landscape. South China Morning Post highlights the burgeoning potential of Hong Kong's low-altitude economy, which is becoming a focal point for development as the city seeks to enhance its economic landscape. With around 30 provinces in mainland China already integrating low-altitude initiatives, Hong Kong has established a dedicated working group to foster drone collaborations with Shenzhen. The low-altitude economy, valued at over 500 billion yuan in 2023 and projected to reach 2 trillion yuan by 2030, encompasses various applications such as logistics, emergency response, and aerial mapping. Notably, the two cities can leverage their interconnectedness and technological advancements to create a synergistic ecosystem that could lead to a seamless transportation network, dubbed the Bay Area in the Sky. This vision entails collaborative efforts to streamline regulations, enhance infrastructure, and promote public-private partnerships, ensuring that both cities become leaders in the global low-altitude economy. South China Morning Post also reports on the insights of Italian football legend Franco Baresi, who emphasizes the need for China to cultivate a football culture to elevate its international standing. With the Chinese men's national team struggling in World Cup qualifiers and the women's team failing to qualify for the Paris Olympics, Baresi reflects on the consequences of the Chinese Super League's financial extravagance in the late 2010s. Instead of focusing on high-profile foreign players, he advocates for investment in grassroots development and infrastructure to foster local talent and a sustainable football culture. As Baresi prepares to engage with local fans in Shanghai, he underscores the importance of European clubs reconnecting with their passionate Asian supporters, who often rise in the early hours to watch matches. His call to action is a reminder that true footballing success stems from nurturing homegrown talent and building a solid foundation for the sport. South China Morning Post delves into the eerie allure of Yuyuan, an abandoned mansion in Hong Kong that has become the backdrop for unique dining experiences organized by dangerous dinners. The mansion, steeped in tales of hauntings and historical intrigue, was once a luxurious summer home built in 1927 by developer Sai Wan. Despite its dilapidated state, the mansion's charm has been revitalized through immersive dining events that blend culinary artistry with ghostly narratives. Founder Sasha Yasumoto undertook the challenge of restoring the venue, removing tons of debris and creating an atmospheric dining space. Guests at a recent event enjoyed a lavish 9-course meal prepared by Chef Silas Lee, showcasing the fusion of East and West. As Yasumoto plans to continue hosting events to raise funds for further restoration, she reflects on her connection to the house and the whimsical experiences it offers, even amidst its haunted reputation. Associated Press reports that the seismic activity beneath Mount Spur, a volcano located 80 miles northwest of Anchorage, Alaska, has seen a significant uptick this year, drawing the attention of geologists. The Alaska Volcano Observatory has raised its alert status from green to yellow, noting approximately 1,500 small earthquakes recorded in 2023, a stark increase compared to the typical 100 in a year. Although this surge in seismic activity could indicate a potential eruption, scientists emphasize that it is not necessarily a precursor. The last eruption occurred in 1992, causing considerable disruption, including flight cancellations and ash clouds reaching as far as Greenland. With ongoing monitoring of seismic stations and satellite data, experts remain vigilant for any signs of magma movement that could lead to another eruption. Nikkei Asia highlights the unexpected success of the film The Last Dance, which has shattered box office records in Hong Kong despite being set in funeral parlors and morgues. Released in early November, the film has grossed over 115 million Hong Kong dollars, breaking the previous record for a Chinese-language film in the city. This success comes amid a struggling local film industry, which has faced challenges from dwindling resources and increased political censorship. The film's themes resonate with a population grappling with grief and loss, reflecting the collective experience of Hongkongers post-COVID-19 and following the 2019 protests. Despite the industry's struggles, The Last Dance and other recent hits demonstrate a resilience and a potential resurgence in local cinema, even as filmmakers navigate a landscape fraught with restrictions and uncertainties. South China Morning Post discusses the optimism surrounding Hong Kong's cryptocurrency market amidst the backdrop of Donald Trump's re-election, which has sparked a surge in Bitcoin prices. At a recent Belt and Road Forum, officials emphasized the city's regulatory stability as a competitive advantage for attracting cryptocurrency businesses. Despite the excitement in the US following Trump's pro-crypto stance, some industry insiders caution that Hong Kong still has ground to cover in establishing itself as a global leader in the digital economy. The local government is actively promoting blockchain technology, particularly in cross-border payments, while also facing challenges in attracting Web3 companies back to the city after a pandemic-induced exodus. The ongoing regulatory landscape in mainland China remains a significant factor, as the government maintains strict bans on commercial cryptocurrency activities, creating uncertainty for the market's future in the region. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.
Got a question in your mind, we'll find the answer, we'll be kind. Encyclopedia on everything, laugh and learn with the zing, zing, zing. From ants to outer space, we've got the facts in one great place. For kids and grown-ups too, we've got the A to Z for you. Got a question in your mind, we'll find the answer, we'll be kind. Encyclopedia on everything, laugh and learn with the zing, zing, zing. From ants to outer space, we've got the facts in one great place. For kids and grown-ups